Countif actually works very similarly to the SUMIF. What the Countif does is it will count the number of cells within a data set based on criteria that you set. Okay, so then that means that there are two arguments to this function. You have the data set itself, or the range of cells that you select. And the second argument is the criteria that you establish. Now, the data set can be either text or numbers, and we're going to show examples of both. Okay, so let's say we want to count the number of movie titles that include the word the. So movies with the. How do we set up this formula? Okay, so as always, we begin with an equal sign followed by the name of the function. And at that point, our data set, or our range of cells, consists of all the movie titles. Okay, now the second argument, let's talk about that in a little bit more depth. The criteria here. The criteria is we want movies titles to include the word the. We're not saying we want the entire title to be the. We want the word the to be included. So what we have to introduce is an asterisk, because an asterisk will help the function determine how to search for a sequence of characters. And in this case, our sequence of characters is the word THE. Okay, so that's point one. Point two is whenever we have criteria that involves text, you need to include quotation marks. So we'll start with quotation marks, followed by the word the and the asterisk. At this point, close the quotation marks along with the parentheses. And when you click enter, you'll notice that 22 of the 100 movie titles includes the word the in the title. Okay, but what if, let's say within our data set, we actually had a couple of asterisks? At that point, how do we register or include in the function that we want to just search for an asterisk? Okay. So at this point, let's try to set that up. We have Countif, once again. We include our data set range, which is the same as our previous example. And now for the criteria, we have to introduce a tilde, because the tilde preceding the asterisk tells the function that we are only looking for asterisks. Okay, the asterisk no longer means a sequence of characters. We're looking for the asterisk itself. Again, close the quotation marks along with the parentheses, and just as we set up in this example, there are two asterisks in our data set. Okay, let's move on now to including a cells or a range of cells that are numbers, gross sales. So let's start off with an easy example. Let's say how many movies have a gross sales of a given number. And in this case, our given number will be 623,357,910,623,357,910. Countif. Now we select the proper data range, which is the gross sales. At that point, let's just reference the number we want. And that's the number we set here in cell D6. At that point, we know by construction that there is only one movie, which is the Avengers. Okay, but we can do something even beyond that, right? We don't have to simply select one gross sales that we're seeking. We can select something using operators. So what I mean by that is how many movies have gross sales that exceed 50 million. Okay, so let's now set that up here. Countif, we again take our proper data set. At that point, again, include the quotation marks. We're using operators. Greater than, this is the criteria, count if the gross sales are greater than, and the number is 50 million. At that point, if you close the parentheses, and of course, I almost forgot, but we have to include quotation marks here as well. Exactly 55 movies have gross sales greater than 50 million. Okay, Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.